you have any message for Ukrainians who, after 3 years of fighting, might feel betrayed or disappointed at not having a seat at these initial talks in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I think I'm really disappointed in what's happened. I've been watching this for 3 years. It's a war that would have never happened if I was president, and I've been watching these people being killed at levels that you've rarely seen, not even close, since the Second World War. And I'm very disappointed. I hear that, they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years and a long time before that. This could have been settled very easily. Just a half-baked negotiator could have settled this years ago without the loss of much land, very little land, without the loss of any lives. And I think I have the power to end this war. And I think it's going very well. But today I heard, we weren't invited. Well, you've been there for 3 years. You should have ended it 3 years. You should have never started it. You could have made a deal. I could have made a deal for Ukraine that would have given them almost all of the land, everything, almost all of the land, and no people would have been killed, and no city would have been demolished, and not one dome would have been knocked down.
The Russia talks, your impression of how they went today, and if you're perhaps more confident or less confident of a deal after what happened today?
Well, much more confident. They were very good. Russia wants to do something. They want to stop the savage barbarianism. I mean, what's going on over there? It's soldiers are being killed by the thousands on a weekly basis. It's ridiculous.
As part of a peace deal with Putin, would you be willing to consider removing all American troops from Europe?
Well, nobody's asked me to do that, so I don't think we'd have to do that. I wouldn't want to do that. But that question's never really come up.
Sir, do you support stationing European peacekeeping troops in Ukraine as part of this peace deal?
If they want to do that, that's great. I'm all for it. If they want to do that, I think that'd be fine.
Even if the Russians are...
I mean, I know France has mentioned it. Others have mentioned it. UK has mentioned it. But if we have a peace deal, I think having troops over there from the standpoint of Europe, we won't have to put any over there because, we're very far away. But having troops over there would be fine. I would not object to it at all. And I'm very disappointed. I hear that, they're upset about not having a seat. Well, they've had a seat for 3 years and a long time before that. This could have been settled very easily. Just a half-baked negotiator could have settled this years ago without the loss of much land, very little land, without the loss of any lives, and without the loss of cities that are just laying on their side. Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, or essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating. And I would say that, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also. People are tired of it. People want to see something happen. And, the other thing that it's been bothering me for a long time, because I solved the problem with NATO. They paid hundreds of billions of dollars into the funds of NATO when I said you got to pay, because the United States was paying for European countries, and then they take advantage of us on trade. And we have to equalize with Europe, because Europe is given a very much smaller percentage than that. I think Europe has given 100 billion, and we've given, let's say, 300 plus, and it's more important for them than it is for us. We have an ocean in between, and they don't. But where is all the money that's been given? Where is it going? And I've never seen an accounting of it. We give hundreds of billions of dollars. I don't see any accounting.
A tak 6 listopada 2024 roku, czyli w dniu, w którym ogłoszono wyniki wyborów prezydenckich w USA, podczas posiedzenia Sejmu posłowie Prawa i Sprawiedliwości oraz Konfederacji skandowali imię i nazwisko nowego prezydenta USA.
Przed wnioskiem formalnym w imieniu koła Wolni Republikanie chciałem złożyć gratulacje panu Donaldowi Trumpowi, 47. prezydentowi Stanów Zjednoczonych. Jest to... też pogratuluję.
Jarosław Sachajko teraz mówi. Bardzo proszę.
Dziękuję. Panie marszałku, pani minister, szanowni Polacy.
Pan poseł, ale pół minuty, dobrze? Bo już poza trybem panu daję prawo.
Przyznam, że mnie skłoniło do wyjścia tutaj, skłoniła ta nierozsądna radość po prawej stronie z powodu zwycięstwa Donalda Trumpa. Pomoc dla Ukrainy staje pod znakiem zapytania. Co może oznaczać trwały podział Ukrainy albo rosyjskie czołgi bliżej polskiej granicy. Wojna celna Stanów Zjednoczonych z Europą może zacząć się zaraz, co oznacza bezrobocie także w Polsce. Kto ma Polskę w sercu, ten się dzisiaj nie cieszy. Hańba!
Dziękuję bardzo. Pan poseł Wiesław Szczepański, Lewica, w imieniu klubu Lewicy. Bardzo proszę.